So I'm getting quite a lot of questions about Netflix's The Chronicles of Narnia and whether it's still happening. I've got a few videos on the channel, so definitely check them out, but we've not heard much, have we? Remember, it was first announced in October 2018, where Netflix said they would be doing both films and series, and that they have the rights to all 7 Narnia books. But since then, we've heard almost nothing. So C.S. Lewis's stepson, Douglas Gresham, he's a producer for Netflix's Chronicles of Narnia, and he said he's heard almost nothing on the show. He says, "But we did a deal with Netflix, and since the deal was done, I've not heard a word from them. So I can't tell you what's going on. I have no idea what's actually happening in their offices or what they're getting up to. So I can't answer any questions about that. I wish I could, because I'm getting kind of worried myself as to whether anything's ever going to happen." So basically, Douglas Gresham has heard nothing, and that's a bit worrying. I've had a few comments recently asking me, and I don't have the answers, but I feel the show is definitely happening. And I think there's a reason why it's taken so long. Basically, I feel that Netflix bought The Chronicles of Narnia on a quick sale. They bought it from the name with no plan. They had nothing in place. Basically, Game of Thrones was ending, and all these big streaming providers were wanting the next Game of Thrones. All these other big fantasy shows were up for grabs, such as The Lord of the Rings, The Witcher. Netflix lost out on The Lord of the Rings to Amazon. They had to get something. They have The Witcher, and that's obviously a rival for that, but they wanted to get something else as well. Everybody wants to get all the shows. They wanted to get Narnia before someone else stole it from them. Supposedly they paid 9 figures. I think the $250 million mark has been floating around a lot. That's what Amazon paid for Lord of the Rings. Some sources say Netflix just paid under that for Narnia. But there's obviously going to have to be some sort of contract in place that means that Netflix can't hold on to the rights for so many years without actually making any progress. They probably have to release the show or the films or whatever it's going to be doing in so many years. But we know nothing about that. It seems like very little has happened, and obviously the pandemic has came along and slowed things down even more. Recently, a hashtag for Narnia on Netflix has been trending. The fans are getting desperate for this. The official Netflix French account on Twitter has made a comment. "Just because we don't talk about it, we don't forget. Narnia movies and series are still in the works, but okay." Guys, it's definitely coming, it's just taking time. It is a bit worrying that Douglas Gresham hasn't heard anything, but Narnia is still happening, I firmly believe that, as Netflix has paid so much money for this. If I had to place a bet on it, 2022 at the earliest, maybe 2023, maybe even longer. And I'm going to use the rest of this video to discuss the whole debate about the series versus films, the Narnia universe. What does it mean? Douglas Gresham's also commented on this, and he says, "I would love it to be an episodic thing, because with a movie, you have an hour, maybe 2 hour maximum if you really stretch it out, to put an entire book, an adventure storybook, into the film, and you just can't do it. You have to drop out so much material. If you go to an episodic streaming system, you can put the whole book up there, and if you really were stupid, you could add to it, which I would have no intention of doing. But I would like to put the entire book, every single nuance of it, on the screen, and I think we could make fantastic Narnia movies that way." So basically, Douglas Gresham wants them to do a simple episodic TV show. Forget about the movies. Like Game of Thrones, there's no movies, there's just episodes. Some longer than others. But this is episode 1, that's episode 2, that's episode 3. The official press release did say they're going to be making series and films, and the French Netflix account did say that as well. But that might have changed. We don't know what the whole series and movies means, and the whole Narnia universe as well. I think that was mentioned about 3 times in the official press release. We know Netflix have the rights to all 7 Narnia books. Does that mean all the books are going to be turned into films, and all the stuff in between that on the show? Or something like that. For instance, you could do a movie on The Lion, the Witch and the Wardrobe, and all the years between that and the end of the Pevensey kids' reign could be in a series. And then the next movie would be The Horse and His Boy, which features the Pevensey kids as minor characters. Now, I wouldn't do that. I would forget about the movies. I would just keep it simple and do episodes. You can make longer episodes, but just call it a series. Just call it episodes. You could do 1 book to 1 season, or you could do 1 book, 1 season of extra stuff. Yeah, I believe Netflix are going to add their own stuff, even if Douglas Gresham's not too keen on that. Maybe more episodes of the Pevensey kids as the kings and queens of Narnia. There's a lot of possibilities, but I think Netflix might be overcomplicating it. Netflix themselves might not even know. The movies might just be longer episodes, they might be actual films. But I would just scrap them, keep it simple, keep it episodic, like everything else is doing. Like Game of Thrones, like The Witcher. But obviously I want you guys to let me know what you think. What would you do? Would you do series and films, or just series? I would just do series. Keep it simple, keep it episodic. Like I said at the start of the video, there's very little Narnia news, but that's always going to change in the future. This channel's going to be full of Narnia videos. I love the Chronicles of Narnia and I can't wait for this show. I want it to be a massive success and I'm going to continue with all the updates on the channel. And if you want to get them, make sure you subscribe and ring the bell to turn the notifications on. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. Check out these videos and I'll see you in the next one.